Senator Braun had planned to be here this morning. Hopefully all of you had an opportunity to hear Senator Braun this morning. He's a strong fiscal responsibility advocate, a true believer in the Article 5 approach to solve this problem, to deal with this ticking time bomb. Robert Ordway is a senior policy advisor for Senator Braun. He also is an entrepreneur and a men's fashion leader, and he's a former director of ALEC. And so thank you, Robert, very much for being here, and we look forward to hearing your remarks.
I was hired to save money, and I haven't done that, so either they should have fired me a long time ago, or I've got really good job security, depending on how you look at it. But before we talk about Article 5, which is why we're here, I just want to give you a little rundown of the things that Braun has tried to champion in the U.S. Senate. And we've gotten some great votes on the floor the last couple of years, but it seems like with each passing year that the interest in the budget seems to be less and less. And as my boss had mentioned earlier, when the chairman of the Budget Committee is Bernie Sanders, you're sort of fighting an uphill battle. But Braun came in under the largest government shutdown in U.S. history, which led to him introducing no budget, no pay. We started there. Then we got into the Maximizing America's Prosperity Act with Mr. Brady from the House, who's retiring this year. We introduced the very first federal rainy day fund bill concept and tried to get it introduced and within the local ledge branch approach, but there's no tolerance to save money even within the smallest appropriations bill. We've got administrative pay-go that, for the administration to take action when mandatory spending goes up, that they find offsets, on their own. We even have the Inform Act that's basically generational accounting to show how the spending that we do today impacts children and grandchildren of tomorrow. We do have the Budget Control Act for 2 years and 10 years in extension. People debate whether it worked or not, but at least it was a post in the ground, right, to go off of. Now we just make up a number and stick it from there. We've recently introduced the Responsible Budget Targets Act, which we hope to champion more in the coming years. We thank Kurt Couchman here in the audience for being the brainchild of that. And one big thing is we waive all the budget rules. So we have a bill out there that says you can't waive all the rules. If you're going to waive them, you're going to take a vote on every single rule that you waive, so that the media's got to cover the negligence that happens on the Senate floor. We have the Business Cycle Balanced Budget Amendment, and we have a resolution that condemns modern monetary theory. The boss has debated Bernie Sanders on the floor. And finally, a resolution saying, hey, the national debt is a threat to our national security. So how we got to the Article 5 is basically the senator has seen that nothing's going to happen in D.C. that's meaningful or of value, and Article 5 was written that when D.C. goes out of control, that the states ultimately are able to take charge. But over the last few decades, and I'd say half century, maybe even longer, the debates of who, what, where, when, why have led to a plethora of literature. And we've been working with Representative Jody Arrington of Texas to look at what they've introduced as it relates to the archivist and who should certify and write down these petitions from states. And we're currently still investigating this process, but we definitely think that it needs to remain decentralized and bottom up. That's what the founders really wanted. And so the concept that we're currently fleshing out is something where we create expedited procedures that when any member of the House or Senate deems that 2/3 of the states have active petitions for a convention of the states, that member can have an expedited procedure for a bill to the floor, and then the debates about who, where, when, why can be had, as opposed to a bunch of legalists on the outside pontificating on what should or should not happen. So, as Senator Braun said earlier, that he's definitely going to be here for another 2 years and going to fight the good fight in fiscal issues. But we truly believe that it's going to be the states that are going to lead the way and serve as an example. And I'm here to happy to answer questions on what we've done and how we can support your work back at home. Thank you.